I'm late again, Noah. Ava's voice rang through the phone, soft but rushed. I smiled while locking my apartment door. You always say that, Ava. You never change. She sighed. Maybe I don't want to change. I laughed. Good. I like you exactly like this. On the other side, I heard her small laugh too. That sound always made my day better. Where are you now? I asked. On my way to work, she said quickly. And you? Don't tell me you skipped breakfast again. I leaned against the wall. Caught again. I just had coffee. Ava clicked her tongue. Noah Blake. One day your body will quit on you. I'll survive, I said. I have you to worry about me. There was a short silence. Then she said softly, You shouldn't depend on me too much. That line felt strange. I frowned. Why would you say that? She quickly changed her tone. Forget it. I'm just tired. Before I could ask more, she said, I'll call you later, and hung up. I stared at my phone for a second. Something in her voice felt off, but I ignored it. She's just busy, I told myself. At the office, Ethan Reed was already at my desk. You're late again, he said, smirking. Only 5 minutes, I replied, sitting down. He threw a pen at me. 5 minutes becomes 5 years in corporate life. I laughed. Relax, boss man. He leaned closer. Victor Hale is watching everyone today. So act alive. I raised an eyebrow. Why do you sound nervous? I don't, he said quickly, too quickly. I studied him. You're hiding something. He stood up. You think too much, Noah. Then he walked away. I watched him go, confused for a moment, but I brushed it off. Lily Turner passed by my desk. You look happy, she said. I am, I replied. Why wouldn't I be? She hesitated. Just be careful around people today. I laughed lightly. Everyone keeps warning me like something big is coming. She didn't smile back. At noon, Victor Hale called me into his office. Good work on the report, he said, adjusting his glasses. Thank you, sir. He leaned back. You're one of my best employees, Noah. Don't disappoint me. I won't, I said confidently, but his eyes felt heavy, like he was measuring me. After the meeting, Ethan was waiting outside. What did he say? He asked. Same thing. Praise and pressure. He nodded too fast. Good. That's good. Again, something felt wrong. Later that evening, I met Ava near the park. She was sitting on a bench, looking at her phone. Hey, I said. She quickly locked her screen. Oh, you scared me.
He sat beside her.
What are you doing here alone? Just thinking, she said. About what? Nothing important. I reached for her hand. You've been distant lately. She pulled her hand back slightly. I'm just tired, Noah. I studied her face. You keep saying that. She forced a smile. Maybe I just need space. Those words hit me, but I nodded slowly. If that helps you, I understand. She looked away. You're too good sometimes. I laughed softly. Is that a complaint? No, she said quickly. It's just dangerous. I didn't understand what she meant, but I didn't push. We sat in silence for a moment. Then my phone rang. Ethan. I answered. What's up? His voice was tense. Where are you? Outside with Ava. A short pause. Don't stay there too long, he said. Just come back soon. Before I could ask why, he hung up. I frowned. Strange day, I muttered. Ava looked at me. Everything okay? Yeah, I lied. Just work stuff. She nodded but didn't seem convinced. I walked her home later. She stopped at her building entrance. Good night, Noah, she said softly. Good night, I replied. She turned to leave, then paused. Noah? Yes. She hesitated. Do you trust me? I smiled without thinking. With everything I have. Her eyes flickered for a second, like she wanted to say something painful, but she didn't. Good, she whispered. That's good. Then she left. I stood there for a moment watching her go upstairs. Before I turned away, I saw her through a window. She wasn't smiling anymore. She was crying. And she was talking to someone on the phone I couldn't see. Her voice was shaking, even from far away. I couldn't hear the words, but I felt something inside me pause, like reality had just started changing without warning. Word count: 700. Again, I asked, staring at my phone. Ava sighed on the call. Noah, I told you, I'm busy with work. I leaned back on my chair. You've been busy every day this week. That's because my project is important, she replied quickly. I stayed quiet for a second. We barely talk anymore. Her voice softened. You're overthinking. I forced a small laugh. Maybe I am. Good, she said. Now stop worrying. Then she hung up again. I stared at the screen. Same pattern. Same distance. Ethan walked into my office. You look tired, he said. Do I? I replied. He nodded. You're thinking too much again. I frowned. Everyone keeps saying that. He avoided my eyes. Maybe because it's true. I leaned forward. You've been acting weird too. He froze for half a second. I'm just busy. With what? I asked. Life, he said quickly, then smiled too fast. Not everything is a mystery, Noah, but it felt like one. Later, I met Lily near the break room. You need to be careful, she said suddenly. I raised my eyebrows. Careful about what? She looked around before speaking. Victor Hale and Daniel Cross are talking too much lately. I shrugged. They always talk business. It's not normal business, she said. I sighed. Lily, you worry too much. She stepped closer. Noah, I saw Ethan with Victor yesterday. I frowned. So? He works here. That wasn't a work meeting, she said sharply. I shook my head. You're misunderstanding things. She looked frustrated. Why do you always defend everyone blindly? I smiled slightly. Because they're my people. She went quiet for a moment. Then she said softly, That's exactly how people get hurt. I walked away before she could say more. At lunch, I texted Ava again. Can we meet tonight? No reply. I waited. Still nothing. Ethan sat across from me later. You okay? He asked. Yeah. I lied. He nodded slowly. Good. Then he hesitated. Don't text Ava too much. I frowned. Why would you say that? He shrugged. Just let people breathe. I stared at him. Since when do you care about that? He stood up. Since I learned it matters. Then he walked away again. I felt more confused than angry. That evening, I went outside the building. Chloe Adams was standing near the cafe. She waved. Hey, Noah. Hey, I replied. She smiled awkwardly. You look stressed. Long day, I said. She hesitated. I saw your girlfriend yesterday. My heart slowed a little. Where? At the restaurant near West Street. I smiled. Yeah, she mentioned work meetings there. Chloe shook her head slowly. She wasn't alone. I frowned. What do you mean? She looked uncomfortable. She was with Ethan. I laughed immediately. That's impossible. She blinked. I'm just saying what I saw. I stepped closer. You must have been mistaken. She backed up slightly. Noah, I know what I saw. My voice hardened. You don't. She went silent. I turned away. Forget it. Behind me, I heard her say quietly, I shouldn't have said anything. I didn't stop walking, because I didn't want to believe it. That night I called Ava again. She answered after a long delay. What? She said softly. Where were you yesterday? I asked. Work, she replied instantly. Liar, I whispered without meaning to. Silence. Then she said, Noah, don't start this. I'm not starting anything, I said. I'm asking. Her voice changed. You're acting paranoid. I closed my eyes. Chloe saw you. A pause. Then she said, people see what they want to see. That answer didn't feel like comfort. Felt like escape. I didn't reply. I just hung up. Later that night, I couldn't sleep. I walked to the kitchen, poured water, and sat down. My phone vibrated. Unknown number. I opened it. A voice message played. It was Ava, but she wasn't talking to me. She was whispering. I told you. He still doesn't know anything. Then a man's voice replied faintly in the background. Good. Keep it that way. My hand froze. The glass in my grip suddenly felt heavier than anything I had ever held. And for the first time, I stopped defending them in my mind. Ava, open the door. My voice was calm, but my hand was shaking. Inside, I heard movement. Noah. Please go home, she said through the door. I just want to talk, I replied. A long silence. Then the lock clicked. She opened the door slowly, eyes already red. What do you want? She asked. I looked at her. Tell me the truth. Her face changed instantly. Truth about what? You and Ethan, I said. Her eyes widened. What are you talking about? I stepped inside. Don't lie to me. She shook her head fast. Noah, I swear, there is nothing. I laughed once, dry. Then explain the message. Her lips trembled. What message? I held my phone up. This one. She looked at it, then looked away. That's not what it looks like, she whispered. I stared at her. Then what is it? Her voice broke. I can't tell you. My chest tightened. So it's true. No, she shouted suddenly. It's not like that. Then she started crying. Please don't do this, she said. You're making it worse. I stepped back. I'm making it worse? She wiped her face. You don't understand. Then make me understand, I said. She shook her head. I can't. That silence hurt more than any answer. I turned away. I trusted you, Ava. She grabbed my arm. Noah, please. Pulled away. Don't touch me. She froze. I gave you everything, I said quietly. Her voice cracked. And I never asked you to. That hit harder than I expected. The next morning I went to work early. Ethan was already at my desk. You look like hell, he said. I need answers, I replied. He frowned. About what? You and Ava, I said. His face changed instantly. What? Don't act surprised. He stood up. You're out of your mind. I stepped closer. Chloe saw you with her. He laughed sharply. So now you believe rumors? I believe what I see, I said. He slammed his hand on the desk. You see nothing. People turned around. I lowered my voice. Just tell me the truth. He leaned in. The truth is you're paranoid. Then he walked away. At noon, Victor Hale called a meeting. The room felt colder than usual. You've been flagged, Victor said. I frowned. For what? Data leak, he said calmly. I blinked. That's impossible. Daniel Cross was sitting in the corner, smiling. Victor continued. Confidential files were accessed using your credentials. I stood up. That's not me. Victor didn't react. Security logs say otherwise. My heart started beating faster. Someone used my account. Daniel Cross finally spoke. Convenient excuse. I turned to him. Who are you? He smiled. Someone cleaning up problems. Victor leaned back. We are suspending you immediately. The room spun slightly. This is a mistake, I said. No one answered. Outside the building, Ethan was waiting. You did this, I asked him. He frowned. What are you talking about? The leak, I said. He looked offended. You think I framed you? I didn't answer. He lowered his voice. Noah, just go home. That sounded like goodbye. I tried calling Ava. No answer. Again. No answer. Again. Disconnected. That night, I went back to her apartment. No lights. No response. Her neighbor looked at me. She left early this morning. Left? I asked. She packed everything, he said. Said she was moving. My chest dropped. Where? He shook his head. Didn't say. I stood there, frozen. Ethan stopped answering my calls after that. Messages delivered. No reply. Back in my apartment, I sat in silence. My phone lay on the table, useless. Everything I trusted, gone without warning. Ava. Ethan. My job. My name. I whispered to myself, this can't be real. But deep down, I already knew. My life wasn't breaking. It had already been broken, and I was the last one to see it. You don't need to come back here, HR said on the phone. I closed my eyes. So it's official? Yes, she replied coldly. Your termination stands. I swallowed hard. I didn't do it. No reply, just a click. The line went dead. I sat in my apartment, staring at the wall. My phone kept buzzing. Unknown messages, blocked numbers, silent calls. Then Emma walked in. You didn't eat again, she said softly. I didn't look at her. I'm not hungry. She sat beside me. Noah, talk to me. What is there to talk about? I asked. She touched my arm. You're not alone. I laughed once. That's funny. Her eyes filled. Please don't do this to yourself. I stood up. They already did it for me. She whispered. Ava wouldn't. I cut her off. Don't say her name. Silence filled the room. Later, Lily called me. I found something, she said. I leaned forward. What? Security logs, she replied. Your account was accessed from 2 locations. I frowned. That proves I was framed? Not fully, she said. But it's not you. I exhaled slowly. So someone set me up. Yes, she said quietly. My hands tightened. Who? I don't know yet, she replied. I met her at a small cafe. She slid a folder to me. Look at this, she said. I opened it. My name, access logs, timestamps. This is fake, I asked. She shook her head. No, it's manipulated. My voice dropped. So someone planned it. Yes, she said. I leaned back. Ethan or Ava? She hesitated. I don't want to guess. I stood up. I do. Chloe arrived later that evening. She avoided my eyes. You said you saw them, I said. She nodded slowly. At the restaurant? I asked. Yes, she whispered. Together? I asked. She hesitated. Yes. My voice hardened. Meeting or dating? She looked down. Talking like they knew each other too well. My chest tightened. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I was scared, she said. I stepped closer. Of what? She whispered. Of being involved. That silence hit harder than her words. Back home, I couldn't sit still. I opened my laptop again and again, checking old messages, deleted chats, cache files. Then I found it. A hidden backup. Ava's old account. My fingers shook. I opened it. Messages loaded slowly. Then I saw my name, Noah, in a thread labeled Plan B. I leaned closer. One message stood out. We use him until the transfer is complete. Then cut him out. My breathing stopped. Another message followed. He trusts us too much. It will be easy. I whispered. No. My hands froze on the keyboard. I scrolled further. A final line appeared. If Noah finds out, everything fails. My phone slipped from my hand. I stared at the screen, unable to move. Everything inside me went silent. Not pain, not anger, just realization. This wasn't betrayal anymore. This was planned. And I was never part of their truth. Only their target. You're not crazy, a woman said. I looked up. Who are you? She sat across from me, calm, focused. Sarah Mitchell. Lily stood beside her. She helps uncover internal fraud cases. I frowned. Why are you here? Sarah leaned forward. Because your case is not simple. I exhaled slowly. Nothing about my life is simple now. She opened a folder. Victor Hale approved a targeted removal. I stiffened. Removal? Lily spoke quietly. From the company project you were leading. I shook my head. That doesn't explain everything. Sarah nodded. It will. She slid another paper toward me. Daniel Cross's name was highlighted. He wanted your position, she said. I laughed bitterly. So it's just greed? Sarah replied. Not just him. I looked up. Then who else? She paused. Ethan Reed. My chest tightened. No. Lily stepped in. He was promised promotion and financial reward. I stood up. You're lying. Sarah didn't react. We verified it. Silence hit the room. I sat back down slowly. And Ava? Sarah hesitated. Emotionally manipulated. I whispered, "What does that mean?" "She was pressured," Lily said. "Used as emotional access to you." My throat tightened. So she was part of it, but not in control. Sarah nodded. Exactly. I leaned back, staring at nothing. So everyone had a reason. Except me. Lily spoke softly. You were the target. That word hurt more than I expected. Target. Not person. Not friend. Just target. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello. A calm male voice replied. Noah Blake. Yes. This is Oliver Grant, he said. Attorney. I frowned. I didn't contact you. I know, he said. Sarah did. I looked at Sarah. She nodded. Oliver continued. I handle corporate corruption cases. I sighed. I don't have anything left to fight for. You do, he said firmly. Your name. Silence. Then he added, and your truth. I closed my eyes. Why help me? Because I've seen cases like yours, he replied. They always end the same if no one fights back. I whispered, I already lost everything. No, he said. You lost what they allowed you to see. That line stayed in my mind. Later, I met him in person. He looked direct, confident. You're angry, he said. I'm empty, I replied. He nodded. That's worse. I sat down. What now? He placed a file in front of me. We build a case. I frowned. Against all of them? Yes, he said. I hesitated. Even Ethan? He didn't answer immediately. The truth doesn't choose sides. That silence felt heavy. That night I walked alone. City lights blurred around me. Ava's face kept appearing in my mind. Her voice. Her tears. She was used, I whispered. But another voice inside me answered. She still lied. I stopped walking. My fists tightened. I didn't know what hurt more, being betrayed or being part of a plan I never saw coming. I called Sarah. I'm in, I said. She replied softly. Are you sure? I looked ahead. No. A pause. Then I added, but I'm done staying silent. Sarah said, then we start tomorrow. I hung up. For the first time since everything collapsed. I wasn't running. I wasn't begging. I wasn't breaking. I was choosing to stand. You didn't call her back, Emma said quietly. I didn't look up. I won't. She sat beside me. Noah. She might explain everything. I shook my head. I don't want explanations anymore. Emma frowned. You loved her. I replied flatly. I did. Pause filled the room. Then she asked softly, and Ethan? I clenched my jaw. Same answer. Emma's voice broke slightly. You're changing. I finally looked at her. I have to. My phone buzzed again. Ava's name appeared on the screen. I stared at it for a moment. Then I pressed decline. No hesitation. No regret. Emma noticed. That was her. Yes, I said. She's been calling all day, Emma said. I know, I replied. Then why ignore her? She asked. I stood up. Because every answer she gives is another lie I have to survive. Emma stayed silent after that. At Oliver's office, papers were spread across the table. We're building structure now, he said. I sat down. Not emotions? He looked at me. Emotions will break your focus. I nodded. Good. I don't need them. Sarah entered with a file. Victor Hale's internal transfers, she said. Oliver flipped through it. This is enough to open pressure. I leaned forward. Pressure isn't enough. I want proof that sticks. Sarah replied. We're close. I asked. And Ethan? She hesitated. He signed off on multiple access approvals. My jaw tightened. So he played a role. Oliver said calmly, legally, yes. I looked away. Then I won't hesitate anymore. Later, Lily met me outside the building. You look different, she said. I feel different, I replied. She studied me. Less emotional. More focused, I corrected. She nodded slowly. That's good, I think. I said. It is. She handed me a coffee. You forgot to eat again, she said. I almost smiled. Old habit. She replied. Some habits don't survive betrayal. That line stayed with me. That evening I sat with Emma. She watched me carefully. You don't cry anymore. I said. I don't have time for it. She whispered. That scares me. I looked at her. It shouldn't. She shook her head. You're shutting everything out. I replied. I'm shutting out what hurts me. Emma's voice softened. Even love. I paused. Then I said, especially fake love. She looked down. Sarah called later. We found a financial link, she said. I sat up. Between who? Victor Hale and Daniel Cross, she replied. I exhaled slowly. So it was always business. Yes, she said. And Ethan? I asked. A pause. He was the connector, she said carefully. My grip tightened on the phone. So he wasn't just used. No, she said. He chose his position. Silence. Then I said, good. That makes it easier. Sarah asked, easier for what? I replied, for what comes next. That night I walked alone again. But this time my steps were steady. No confusion. No hesitation. Just direction. My phone rang once. Eva. I stared at it. Then I turned it off. Not anger. Not sadness. Just control. Back home, I opened Oliver's files again. Names. Transactions. Evidence. Each page felt like truth I should have seen earlier. Emma walked in quietly. You're not the same person, she said. I closed the file. I know. She asked softly, is that good or bad? I looked at her. I don't know yet, I said. A pause. Then I added, but I'm not going back. Emma whispered. To what? I answered. To the version of me that trusted blindly. Silence filled the room. I stood up slowly. If they destroyed my life, I said, I will rebuild it stronger just to face them. And for the first time, I believed every word I said. You didn't sleep again, Lily said. I looked at my screen. Sleep is optional right now. She sighed. That's not healthy. I replied. Neither is being destroyed for trusting people. She went quiet. Sarah walked in with a folder. We got more, she said. I leaned forward. Against Victor? She nodded. Internal fund transfers. Hidden accounts. Oliver followed her. This is enough to pressure court proceedings. I asked, enough to end it? Oliver met my eyes. Not yet, but it's close. I nodded slowly. Close is fine. My phone vibrated. Ethan. I stared at the name. Lily noticed. You're not answering? No, I said. She frowned. Not even once? I replied. Once leads to twice. I declined the call. Silence returned. Sarah placed another file down. Daniel Cross is panicking, she said. I looked up. How do you know? She smirked slightly. He tried to move assets offshore. Oliver added. That's what guilty people do. I leaned back. So they're scared now. Sarah nodded. Very. I whispered. Good. My phone rang again. Unknown number. I answered. Speak. A nervous voice replied. Noah. I paused. Chloe. Yes, she said quickly. Please don't hang up. I stood up. Why should I listen? She said. Ava wants to talk to you. I replied instantly. No. Her voice cracked. She's not doing well. I said. Not my problem. There was silence. Then Chloe whispered. She regrets everything. I answered coldly. Regret doesn't fix betrayal. I hung up. Lily watched me. That was harsh. I said. Truth is always harsh. She frowned. You didn't used to be like this. I replied. That version of me is gone. Later, Sarah showed me a message. Ethan tried to reach your lawyer, she said. I looked at Oliver. Did you respond? He shook his head. No. I said, good. Sarah added, he's trying to cooperate. I laughed once. Too late for cooperation. Oliver studied me. You're certain? I nodded. He made his choice. That night I walked alone again. But this time I wasn't lost. I was calculating. Every step felt like control returning. Not emotion. Not confusion. Control. My phone buzzed again. Eva. I stared at it. This time I didn't feel pain. Only distance. I turned it off. At home, Emma looked at me carefully. You're becoming cold, she said. I replied, I'm becoming clear. She asked softly, is that what revenge does? I shook my head. This isn't revenge yet. She frowned. Then what is it? I said, preparation. Emma whispered, that scares me more. I looked at her. It shouldn't. She stepped closer. You're not the Noah I knew. I answered, I know. A pause. Then I said, the old Noah trusted people who didn't deserve it. Emma lowered her eyes. Sarah called again later. Victor is under formal investigation now, she said. I asked, and Daniel? Losing control fast, she replied. I closed my eyes. Good. Oliver added, we're preparing final submission. I asked, when? Soon, he said. I nodded. Then I wait. At midnight, Ethan called again. I watched the screen ring. Once, twice. I didn't answer. It stopped. Then I received a message. I'm sorry. I deleted it instantly. No reading. No emotion. No space left for him. Lily stood beside me the next morning. You're winning, she said. I replied, not yet. She asked, then what are you doing? I looked at the files in front of me. I'm making sure when I win, they understand why they lost. She didn't respond. Sarah placed the final document on the table. This is the strongest proof we have, she said. Oliver nodded. This will shift everything. I stared at it. No hesitation. No fear. Just certainty. I said quietly, then let them see it. And for the first time, I wasn't the one being broken. I was the one closing the trap. They opened the case, Oliver said. I looked up. Officially. He nodded. Victor Hale's company is under full investigation. I exhaled slowly. Finally, Sarah entered the room. And it's spreading. I asked, how far? She placed a report down. Daniel Cross is being questioned. I leaned forward. Already, she replied. He tried to run. That made it worse. I almost smiled. Good. Lily walked in next. You should see the news, she said. I turned on the screen. Breaking headlines. Investigation. Fraud. Internal corruption. Lily whispered, it's all coming out. I said quietly, not fast enough. She looked at me. You're calm. I replied, I don't have energy for chaos anymore. Sarah's phone rang. She answered quickly. Yes. She listened, then looked at me. It's about Ethan, she said. I went still. What about him? She hesitated. His involvement is being confirmed. Oliver frowned. Confirmed how? Sarah replied, financial approvals. Internal system access. His signature appears multiple times. Silence filled the room. I said flatly, so he wasn't just nearby. Sarah nodded. He was inside it. I leaned back. Of course he was. Lily said softly, Noah. I cut her off. Don't. My phone rang. Eva. I stared at it longer than usual. Lily noticed. Are you going to answer? I said, no. The screen kept glowing. Then it stopped. Later, Chloe called. I answered immediately. What now? Her voice was shaking. Ava knows everything is collapsing. I replied, good for her. Chloe whispered, she's not okay. I said, she wasn't okay when she chose silence. A pause. Then Chloe said, she wants to see you. I answered, I don't want to see her. Her voice cracked. She's breaking down, Noah. I said coldly. So did I. I hung up. Lily looked at me. That was harsh again. I said, truth doesn't soften just because it hurts. She sighed. You're shutting everyone out. I replied, I'm shutting out distractions. Sarah placed another file in front of me. This is the final proof, she said. Oliver opened it. This ties Victor, Daniel, and Ethan directly. I asked, and me? Sarah nodded. You were the target from the beginning. I closed my eyes for a moment. Then it's done. Oliver said, not yet. Court is next. I replied, that's the ending. That evening I saw the news again. Victor Hale's office raided. Employees questioned. Daniel Cross escorted out. Ethan's name mentioned in reports. I watched silently. No reaction. No satisfaction. Just confirmation. Lily stood beside me. Does it feel better now? I said, no. She frowned. Then what does it feel like? I answered honestly, heavy. She whispered, because of her? I shook my head. Because it all had to exist in the first place. Sarah called one last time that night. Everything is in motion, she said. I asked, any gaps? She replied, none. Oliver added, we're ready for court. I nodded. Then let it end properly. My phone buzzed again. Eva. This time I didn't hesitate. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel sadness. I simply turned the phone face down. Emma watched me from the doorway. You don't react anymore, she said. I replied, reaction is wasted energy. She asked softly, what are you now? I thought for a moment, then said, someone who finishes things. Emma looked worried. That sounds dangerous. I shook my head. It's necessary. Later, I stood alone at the window. City lights below. Everything I lost, now collapsing on its own weight. Lily texted me, it's almost over. Sarah wrote, justice is close. Oliver called, be ready. I whispered to myself, I am ready. And for the first time, I wasn't watching my life fall apart. I was watching theirs. All rise. The court voice echoed. I stood slowly. No emotion, just presence. Oliver leaned toward me. It starts now. I nodded. End it properly. Victor Hale was brought in first. Handcuffs. No expression. Lily whispered beside me, that's him. I replied, I know. Victor looked at me briefly. No guilt. No apology. Just silence. Oliver stood up. Your Honor, we present clear evidence of corporate fraud and targeted framing. He turned pages calmly. This includes financial transfers, access logs, and internal approvals. I watched quietly. Sarah sat behind, focused. Lily didn't blink. Daniel Cross was called next. He looked different now. Less powerful. More nervous. Oliver said, you benefited directly from the removal of Noah Blake. Daniel laughed weakly. That's not true. Oliver placed a document down. Then explain your signature here. Silence. Daniel's voice dropped. I was only following orders. I whispered, of course you were. The judge leaned forward. We will proceed with arrest warrants. Victor didn't react. Daniel froze. Then guards moved in. Chains clicked. It was real now. Ethan was brought in after. I didn't look at him immediately. Oliver said, state your involvement. Ethan's voice shook. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I finally looked at him. He avoided my eyes. I was pressured, he said quickly. I made mistakes. Oliver asked, did you sign access approvals? Silence. Then Ethan whispered, yes. That one word dropped heavier than everything else. I leaned back. No anger, just confirmation. Ava was called last. She walked in slowly, eyes red, hands trembling. Chloe sat behind her, crying silently. Ava looked at me immediately. I didn't move. Oliver spoke gently. State your involvement. Ava's voice broke. I didn't want any of this. Silence. She continued. I was scared. I was forced to stay quiet. I finally spoke. Forced by who? She looked down. Ethan and others. Ethan's head dropped further. Ava turned toward me. Noah, I'm sorry. Her voice cracked completely. I never wanted to hurt you. I stayed silent. She stepped forward slightly. Please, say something. I replied calmly. You already said enough before. Her tears fell harder. I loved you, she whispered. That hit differently. Not pain, not anger, just emptiness. The judge spoke. Verdict will be delivered after final review. Victor was taken away. Daniel followed. Ethan stood last before leaving. He looked at me. For a second, guilt. Then nothing. He walked out. Ava remained a moment longer. She whispered again. I'm sorry. I finally answered. I know. She froze. Not comfort. Not forgiveness. Just acknowledgement. After they were gone, the room felt hollow. Lily spoke softly. It's over. Sarah added. Legally, yes. Oliver closed his folder. Justice is done. I sat back. My hands rested still. No shaking. No relief. Just exhaustion. Lily looked at me. How do you feel? I replied honestly. Tired. Sarah asked. No satisfaction? I shook my head. No. Oliver said quietly. That's normal. I looked at the empty witness stand. My pain has a name now, I said. Lily frowned. What name? I answered. It's not confusion anymore. A pause. Just truth. Outside the courthouse, reporters shouted. Names. Questions. Headlines. I didn't stop. I walked through it all. Emma met me outside. She looked at my face. It's done. I nodded. It's done. She whispered. And you? I replied. Still here. That night I stood alone again. No Ava. No Ethan. No lies left standing. Only silence. I whispered. Justice is served. Then added quietly. But it doesn't fix everything. And for the first time, I understood that winning and healing were not the same thing. You're finally home, Emma said softly. I closed the door behind me. Yeah. She looked at me carefully. It's really over, isn't it? I nodded. Everything. She stepped closer. And Ava. I paused. Gone. Emma asked quietly. Ethan too. I replied. Facing it now. She studied my face. Do you feel better? I thought for a moment. No. Lily called later that evening. You didn't show up for the press statement, she said. I sat down. I didn't need to, she replied. People are calling you a survivor. I laughed lightly. I'm just tired. She went quiet. You deserved more than this. I answered. I don't think anyone deserves this. Sarah sent a message. Case closed. It read. I stared at it. No reaction. Just acceptance. Oliver called next. You did it, he said. I replied. We did it. He corrected me. No. You held on when others would have broken. I said quietly. I almost did. He responded. But you didn't. Then the call ended. Emma sat beside me later. You're not smiling, she said. I looked at her. Should I be? She shook her head. No. But I thought you might feel lighter. I replied. I feel empty. She frowned. That scares me. I said. It shouldn't. She whispered. What do you feel then? I answered honestly. Quiet. Lily visited that night. She placed a small box on the table. What's this? I asked. Memories you still kept, she said. I opened it. Old photos, messages, things from before everything broke. I closed it again. I don't need them, I said. She asked. You sure? I nodded. I don't live there anymore. Emma watched me carefully. You changed completely, she said. I replied. I had to. She asked softly, "Was it worth it?" I looked at her. "I survived." She lowered her eyes. "That's not an answer," she said. I replied, "It's the only one I have." Later, I walked outside alone. No calls. No messages. No names pulling me back. Just silence. The city felt different now. Not loud. Just distant. I stopped near the streetlight. I thought about Ava. Not with anger. Not with love. Just memory. "She was real once," I whispered. Then I shook my head. "But not for me in the way I believed." Ethan's face came next. I didn't feel hatred anymore. Just distance. "Choices," I said quietly. "Everyone made theirs." I sat on a bench for a long time. No phone in hand. No waiting. No expecting. Emma texted me, "Come home safe." I replied, "I'm already home." She sent back, "No, you're not the same anymore." I didn't answer, because she was right. Lily called once more. "Are you okay?" she asked. I looked at the sky. "I don't know," I said. She replied softly, "That's still progress." I nodded even though she couldn't see. I stood up and started walking again. No destination. No urgency. Just movement. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't running from betrayal. I wasn't chasing justice. I wasn't breaking anymore. I was just existing. And as I walked alone under the quiet night, I finally understood myself. I loved her blindly, I thought. A long pause inside my mind. But pain made me see everything clearly.